Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my reading journal setup for March. This month I'm doing something a little bit different. I have never done this in my bullet journal, and it is painting. I've always wanted to paint in my bullet journal, but I'm not really an artistic type painter. I like to draw more than paint, but I came across an image on Pinterest similar to this design, and I was inspired to use it in my journal. I'm just using simple craft paint and a craft brush, doing a light layer of paint. On this notebook, the paint is absorbed really quickly, so it took no time to dry. It has almost a watercolor effect since it's such a thin layer. This is probably one of the easiest themes I think I've ever done. The taping was the hardest part. The leaves are so fun to draw. They're big and fat and almost fluffy looking. I love them. I wrote out the word March on a scrap piece of paper from the back of one of my other Archer and Olive journals, and I cut it out to kind of help it stand out a bit. I just used my adhesive tape runner to attach it. This spread here is my favorite spread for this month. I love how the design is in the middle of the page. It's one of my favorite ways to do a layout. So this is my TBR and reading log spread. Last month was a pretty slow reading month for me. I was really busy, so I mostly listened to audiobooks, and I only got to 2 of the physical books from my February TBR. So since I'm still on the busy side of life, I only put 3 books on my TBR, and 2 of them are audiobooks. Do you guys read mostly physical, audio, or digital books? I feel like it really just depends on what season of life I'm in. Since I'm a stay-at-home mom, I try to make time to sit down and read every day, but if I'm cooking or cleaning or walking the neighborhood, I'll put on an audiobook and kind of just zone out. I do feel like you sacrifice a little of the story with audiobooks, but it's better than not knowing the story at all, I think. I listened to The Cruel Prince last week, and I will say that if I had been reading the physical book, I probably would have DNF'd it. However, because I ran out of credits in Audible, I kept listening, and I'm kind of glad I did. It definitely did not live up to the hype, but I am curious to see what happens in the next one, so it made it to my TBR. So for my reading log, I actually put it on the page sideways because I really liked the design in the middle and I couldn't fit it in without flipping it. I actually really like the way it looks. This spread was the most time consuming because of all that taping. I used almost an entire roll of washi tape on this whole layout here. So if you decide to do this in your journal, just be sure to use your least favorite one, which I did do. I really don't like this washi tape. So the left side is my tracker page. The mini calendars are my physical, audio, and digital book trackers, and I'll just bubble in with a light colored marker if I read one of those that day. I haven't read on my Kindle in a while, but I still add it just in case. For my daily reading tracker, I went with another Botanical, but I will add the veining to the leaves depending on how long I read. I forgot to add the numbers for the days, but I added it before the flip through at the end. Initially, I wasn't going to outline the calendars, but I thought it would look a bit cleaner if I did, and I really like how it turned out. The right side of this is my Book of the Month and Owl Crate subscription page. I hate to admit it, but I'll probably be canceling my Owl Crate subscription this month because it's just another added cost that I really don't need. I mean, I love it, but we're trying to save for a house, so it's an expense that I'm willing to give up to get us closer to that goal. However, I feel like I can't live without Book of the Month, so I'm keeping that as long as humanly possible. Lastly, we have my quote and favorite book spread. Pretty self-explanatory. I'll write in my favorite quotes on the left-hand side and my favorite book on the right. That's another thing I love about reading a physical book as opposed to an audiobook. With a physical book, I can make notes or tab the parts I like or jump out at me, but in an audiobook, I'm usually doing something else, so I don't think to make note or I totally miss it because I'm busy. Anyways, thanks for listening to my book rant. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!